Hey, Larry, Kate, and Taylor here. Another week and more tariff confusion, right? So first we'll lead off with that. In that um, Taylor put out an email. I think it was on Thursday. That was for something you could use with your vendors and something you could use with your customers. Um, and so read it and use it. Justin also put out, an update and some information in an email too. So Kate will make sure that both of those are included in this week's video. Um, we also had something else that it said. Um, Oh, I think the biggest thing on tariffs, that's it. I know we talked about it internally, but we talked about it last week too. This kind of rolls it back into the old days when we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have all these tools and all these things. And you know what we did? Every time we got an order or we got a quote or a prospect or something to work on, we called multiple plants. I always called 3 to 5 that had, of course, this is print, that had the equipment that could best do it. If it was a check, it was a 7-inch depth, and it was 20-inch press or 14 or a 24, depending upon how long a run it was. So you had to figure out how many colors and what are you going to do it 2 up, you're going to do it 3 up, or you just 1 up if it's a short run or long run or medium run. You had to know your equipment. So we had the little blue or red books, but we always called because there was no pricing, there was no price sheets, and everything is custom. And so we would make those phone calls and do the extra step and effort every time. So we got current prices and we figured out if we wanted to get it closer to home, even though it was a little more expensive, but we had less freight, or we could mark up freight, or we made more money on freight, whatever. So you can make those decisions. Some high volume, low margin stuff, the most of the money was in the freight because we found out more business firms, used rack rate and overcharged them on freight, and they gave away the GP. So you had to figure those things out. But anyway, be that consultant. You are your customer's advisor, consultant, or employee. You're just not on the payroll. You have to bring them ideas, solutions, and be there to help them. Now is the time you got to get it. It's like COVID, where we had to get in front of our customers again. This is another event where the lazy salespeople won't get it done. The salespeople that work hard and care about their customers will get it done, and they'll talk to their customers and they'll find out what the situation is. They'll talk to the vendors, get good pricing or accurate pricing, and be able to migrate through this thing. And your customers have to understand it's not your tariff, it's the tariff from the vendor, and it's not 125% on the sell price, your sell price. It could be 125% on the vendor's cost. So the percentages, I always say, look at the dollars, don't focus on the percentages. Figure that out. So it's also a great time for you to make sure your ACES sites are priced correctly. Go through them, work on with the ACES team, either for a mass upload, like for something like office supplies or something. Usually those are pretty good because when we get an update on a new price, you have a matrix and automatically marks it up. But so for some of the things that you don't have a matrix on, or a percentage markup or list less or whatever, you need to figure out a new cell. So work with the ACES team and they'll help you. But also, there's a good time to get a hold of your customers and do case studies, or look at your customer situation and do the studies. And marketing can help you with that piece and give you some information or pieces to use with your customer. Katie will attach a case study form and answer a few questions, and marketing can help put that together for you. Also, we onboarded a couple of new people this last week, and they did a lot of importing. One of the big things to them that they felt was really a big positive with the American family is our vetted importers program in the Partners for Progress vendor database, or electronic base of all our vendors. There's a vetted importers program that have multiple vendors that have been vetted out, that are Patriot, that don't take money up front, they do a guarantee or cost plus, and they guarantee the product and delivery. So use them. And if you got a great importer exporter that you love, do like it. When I worked with Bill Hess and a logo here, I said we went out to Cleveland. We got a success story, and then we got another success story, and then we got a hold of Michael, who can speak English, and so we started working with him, and we got him into the vetted program. That's how you add somebody. Get a success story. Same thing with a software. We don't just automatically integrate with the software opportunity or solution. We always look for success stories. So we're not wasting our time doing one-offs. You want to do something that more salespeople can use. Also, marketing put out something on Tuesday. Well, hopefully you used. It was the Easter 2025 e-greeting. So a happy Easter, and whoever your God is, may they take care of you and your family. But if you do celebrate Easter, this is the big weekend. So make sure that you and your family celebrate it and are thankful for all the things that you have. Sarah, in HR, let all the ESOP employees that use the employee handbook, that there is a updated version out that has added DeBow into that employee handbook. So if you are a home office or a ESOP employee that uses the handbook, there's a new one with some tweaks to it. Also, there was an email that came out, I think, a week or two ago, or even this week. Nurses Week is coming up, May 6th through the 12th. Another event where you can give your healthcare customers or prospects ideas. And Kim Smith had an email Thursday, which was the link, or not the link, yeah, it would be a link or a copy of the webinar for succession planning. Now, succession planning, it's not a forced thing. There's no rush. It's so you always know plan B, or what am I going to do when I want to retire, and how do I do it? What are those things? Just educate yourself on what the options are, and then when the time comes, you aren't rushed trying to figure out what you're going to do. 3 years, 2 years down the road, and say, okay, now I have it planned. I know what I'm going to do, and you can help us in our onboarding and offboarding, onboarding, acquisition, and retention team. We can help put that plan in place with you and hold it until the time is right. So watch the link and get some ideas and get a feel for it. But again, on the tariffs, read Justin's email and his output, and then Taylor's and what she had. So finally, and just a couple of fun thoughts, right? When you've seen beyond yourself, then you may find peace of mind is waiting there. That's from George Harrison. And here, this is Joelle Speranzia. I don't know who Joelle is, but she had a great thought. She says, our lives are stories in which we write, direct, and star in the leading role. Some chapters are happy, while others bring lessons to learn. But we always have the power to be the heroes of our own adventures. So, peace and love for you and your family, and also my guardian angel over my shoulder, who they slipped into my office behind my door so that I'd always be guided and watched over, also wishes you and your family the best. Peace and love.